So on this week episode, as I have hinted, we are going into training and development, and our focus is on sales and marketing this time around. And one thing is certain: for goods and services to move from one person to another in this world, there has to be market and sales. Hence, the sales and marketing has been a part of our daily life process, whether we like it or not. We're always doing one sales or the other, and it will only be, myopic or narrow-minded to say that it's only meant for organizations and companies to engage in sales and marketing. So, without further ado, we should sit back, relax, enjoy this training and development edition of this today's episode, Real Talk with Kike. So, to discuss this with me, we have a seasoned sales marketing professional with over 23 years experience. He is currently the director head of sales and distribution and business development in Conoil PLC, and also his passion led him to write the book titled The Lost You, which is another motive to impact the life of people around him and beyond positivity or positively basically. And again, let me use this opportunity to say, welcome, right? Please pronounce your name properly for people like us who like to murder people's name. Please help me out.
Good evening, Nigeria. Good evening, Lagos. My name is Rajeev Dua. Rajeev Dua.
All right. Many thanks. Great to have you in the studio with me. Many thanks for coming here today. Have you been keeping safe? Let's start from there.
Thanks to you too, and my pleasure. It's my pleasure for you guys that you guys have invited me. Thank you so very much for inviting me.
All right. So the seasoned sales and marketing expert, Rajeev. Thank you.
Raj is my short name. It's okay. That's
fine. Okay. All right. So a lot of our audience, people need to flog me when it comes to people's names. I always apologize. A lot of our audience would probably be hearing about you for the first time, for those who are familiar with Real Talk with Kike, except a few when it comes to sales and marketing in your field. So my first question to you is that run us through your career. Did you venture into marketing and sales as a profession, or because you found yourself, there perhaps, or perchance?
Okay, I'm basically an Indian, and I started my career all the way back in India about 23 years ago. Okay. And when I started my career as an office assistant. I worked as an office assistant for about good 6 months. So then my erstwhile boss realized that this guy is not really meant for sitting in office, because he's the one who is doing the sales job, and the way he's communicating and the way his passion is. So he was the one who saw the passion and the spark of sales in me, and he put me from an office job to a sales job. So that was the time wherein the sales and marketing foundation was laid, and I got moved from an office assistant to the sales. So it's always, you have that spark, and somebody should be there to identify that spark so that you can choose the profession what you are meant for, and you are happy in doing so.
Interesting. That's so that's so nice. I'm very listening to that, because I know quite a number of people do feel that women are the one for that position, and many run away from sales and marketing in formal organization, but embrace it in social media, because whether we like it or not, everything we are doing on social media is sales and marketing. So my question is, what's the difference between the formal sales and marketing in a formal environment in an organization, and the world that we have embraced in right now, which is technology, social media? What's the difference between both?
See, there is no much difference between the formal sales and marketing, because sales and marketing has always remained same, and it is going to remain same. Okay. The only thing what has really changed is the way we reach out to our customers. The basics of sales will always remain same. There is going to be an exchange of a product, and in the exchange of product, there is a realization of money. So that used to happen in 20th century also, and is going to happen in 22nd century also. The only thing which has changed is the technology. Technology has made our life so simple. Technology has made our life faster. Technology has made it very, very convenient. And it has also made our life very, very competitive, wherein earlier we were only dependent on availability of product, but now availability of product is something which is very, very easy, because social media is all over across the world, and there are so many means to communicate. The most important thing is that you have to be honest. You have to be transparent in whatever you're doing. If you are honest in whatever you're doing, you're transparent in whatever you're doing, you can do sales. And you should follow your passion.
All right. So talking about passion, as a marketing and sales expert, what inspires you? What motivates you to enjoy what you're doing, to still keep at it?
When you start your day, when you end your day, you should always look at that there is some value addition what you have done to yourself and to the organization, and that should really give you happiness. Most of the time what I see is people really run behind the materialistic goals that I have got this salary translates into every day this much of salary. If I complete my job, after a month I am going to get a certain salary. That should not be the benchmark. When you start your day and when you end your day, you should always see that what value addition what you have brought to yourself and what value addition we have brought to the organization. Now, how will that happen? That will only happen when you have that learning attitude always alive in you, irrespective of your age, irrespective of your gender, irrespective of your company. Because learning is something which never ends. Learning is a continual process and you can learn. That's the reason I have mentioned in my book also that learning is something which happens all over, which irrespective of geography, irrespective of gender. For example, I have come all the way from India and working in Nigeria for about a couple of years. Every day I learn. When I came here, I thought I am going to add a lot of value to the country. That's the reason this country is bringing me here. Then I realized that after coming here, I have to unlearn a lot of stuff that I have learned in India, because unlearn is more important than learning. Yeah. If I would have not really unlearned the stuff which I learned way back in 20 years, I would have not been able to contribute the way I've contributed to the country and the organization.
Oh, interesting. I like that submission from you. Let me use this opportunity to open our phone lines. You can, of course, call us on 0817-313-6193. Let's hear your own perspective of the topic at hand. And, of course, if you have questions for our guests in the studio, you can call in, share your comments, your inquiries. If you have any other suggestions and all of that, of course, call us. Let's hear your voice this evening. So, what are the important or the most important aspect of successful marketing?
See, as I said, the successful marketer has to be extremely transparent, and you always have to look at the value proposition for the consumer. Whatever you sell.
And your target audience.
And of course, value proposition is for the target audience only. So if you are able to understand what your target audience is, and if you are able to offer him the value proposition, unless the customer sees the value proposition in a product, he is not going to go for it. For example, when I got an offer from you that let's have a discussion on this.
Yes.
I saw a value proposition. That's the reason I got sold to the radio channel. I am sitting here with you guys right now after my working hours, So I saw the value proposition. So whatever we do in sales and marketing, we have to look at the consumer first. Consumer is the king. If a consumer sees a value proposition in it, then you will be able to sell your product and market your product. What mostly happens is all our marketeers and companies, we always look at our P&L. We always have an inward looking approach. We always look at our P&L, our profits, our EBITDA, our net profits, and we really don't focus on the consumer's perspective. If all of us have consumer as a priority, we always look at customer as a king, and we give them value proposition, then you're automatically, your P&L and your net profits will be taken care of.
Interesting. I can't help but ask this question. Listening to you, I said to myself, let me throw this to you. Between your son building an empire of his own business and him taking up your profession in marketing and sales, what would you advise as a father?
As a father, he has already begun his journey, which is completely different from mine. Okay. He's studying in US, he's doing his engineering. So he has taken a path of an engineering, he's studying in US there. So,
but for those listening to us, if they are caught in your position, what should your advice be?
See, every individual, no matter he is my son, at the end of the day, he is a professional and he is an individual. Every individual, every professional has a certain spark, a certain strength, and certain interest in it. When you know that there is a certain interest and certain spark in that individual, you should not really impose anything what you're doing, because there is the probability that if you impose your sales and marketing skills to him, but he's not really interested in that, he's not going to be happy in doing so. So we should allow individuals, be it our son, daughters, or whoever, to allow them do what they are good at and what they are going to be happy in doing so.
Interesting. That's nice. I think that's what every father will say. Really, so there's a fine line between experience and formal education in marketing. I want to believe so. So some feel within the school walls and get on the streets and make big bucks from marketing. And so, can you explain this irony? Because sometimes I struggle with all of this.
See, for me, that's my personal understanding of life. The most important thing what most of us miss is implementation.
Okay.
We can go to, Harvards of the world and Stanford universities of the world, and all books, all marketing books, all finance books, they teach the same thing all across the world. Whether you go and study in India, you go and study in Europe, or you go and study in US. What is really difference in among all the studies is that what you have learned is the way you are going to take risk and implement in life. That taking that risk and implementing is something which makes people different from others. For example, if I was all the way in India, I learned, having an expat education, learning in dollars, but if I have not taken the risk of coming to this part of the world and implemented what I learned there and what I have learned here, I would have not been sitting here the way you guys are taking my interview. So most important thing is implementation of whatever you have learned. So you should not always confine yourself to the bookish knowledge. Whatever you have learned in the books, you have to go and implement it. For example, if you look at the current education pattern right now in all MBA colleges, they are more focusing on research. They are more focusing on case studies. They are no more, taking classroom exams, giving them marks, sitting in the classroom. They are focusing on the practical aspects of the business, wherein a student is supposed to read the case studies, understand the situations which had already happened in the past, and the way they can take action basis the situations. That will basically make them courageous. They will make them understand if they will get into such situation in future, how will they take a decision. For example, so that's something which is very, very important, that we have to be courageous, take risks, and implement what we have learned. Most of the time, people only keep their knowledge to their brain and they don't really, walk the talk. They don't practice it.
All right. Many thanks for that submission again. I think before we go on, it's important for me to open our phone lines again. You can call us on 0700 923 923 923. Again, 0700 923 923 923. And of course, you can send us a WhatsApp message on 0817 313 6193. Please, let's hear your perspective of the topic at hand. And of course, you can call us and make your inquiries for our guests and with our guests, and of course, sending your comments as well. So, listening to you, I know that there's a cross-continental marketing experience that has exposed you to different or the difference in various countries, because doing a bit of research about you, I've seen the whole lot that you've done, and you've done wonderfully well. It's very resounding. So how would you describe the peculiarities, in the Nigerian marketing and sales terrain from other countries and where we are now?
What I have understood here after coming to this part of the world is, as a professional, you will have to know and you should know all the domains of the business. For example, in the rest of the world, wherein you are a chief of finance, of a chief of marketing, of a chief of a certain IT, certain function, you are going to be confining yourself only to that particular domain. Whereas in Nigeria, and I would say that's the reason I have been able to do reasonably well. I'm not sure whether I have been successful or not. I should not say and should not praise myself. But I think
you've been a successful marketing and sales expert. I'm saying that I'm putting a stamp on it.
Thank you. So for us to be successful in Nigeria, for a professional is something you should know all your domains and have that human touch. People here in Nigeria, they are very, very, very emotional. Yes, that's my understanding. And if you guide them, if you coach them, they are willing to learn. But if you really want to, push them, or you really want to take them head on, so it's going to be very difficult. They are not going to be receptive at all. So it is extremely important for us to have that empathy with people and teach them with whatever you have learned and make them feel that you are part of them rather than working as a manager. So that's the difference between a manager and a leader. Manager is going to manage, leader is going to lead by example. So that's the way it should be.
All right. So listening to you, I understand that there are quite a number of challenges that we Nigerians have. Maybe I should put it like that, Nigerians, because sometimes I realize that as a trainer myself, I understand that most of the challenges that organizations have today is because there's no ownership culture in our spirit, in what is being what they teach. So what's your take when it comes to ownership culture in most organizations as a marketing and sales person? What do you think? How can we bridge the gap?
That's a wonderful question, and your question is my answer was in the previous answer what I gave it to you. When I said the ownership of the business will only come when you look at the business from a holistic perspective. What really most of us is, we only confine ourselves to a particular department. For example, I am a sales head, I am going to look at only sales. But if I am not going to look at production, raw material, procurement, marketing and finance aspect of it, though I have done my job with full dedication and with 100% whatever the deliverables were, but if I have not really looked at the entire value chain of raw material procurement, production, sales, finance, and again procurement, then that one single thing of focusing on sales and achieving my care is not going to solve the purpose. So we really have to look at the all departments I'm not saying that you really have to be expert in all the departments, but you really have to know the interdependencies of your overall business. That if this doesn't happen, from this department, what will the impact on your particular department? So those interdependencies you should understand. Help those other department people so that you can overcome those interdependencies and deliver your work. You can't work in isolation these days.
Very true. And there's a gender biased, issue going on in marketing, across the globe, and this favorable stance is that women can do it better. I stand to be corrected because you're a man, you're doing wonderfully well in that field. But why this bias, and is this bias really a reality presently, or is just,
See, any skill, be it sales and marketing, since we are talking about sales and marketing is a characteristic and is a quality, is a competency which is not confined to any gender. It is basically a passion, a characteristic in you, which is not gender biased at all. For example, what do we do in sales? We don't sell, that's my understanding. We don't sell product. We sell ourselves. What am I doing right now? Am I selling you something right now? We are just talking. I'm just selling myself to you. No, even if I'm carrying a comb or a detergent powder or a wood XYZ telecom company, you will get convinced if I have got good convincing skills, So in sales, we do sell ourselves, And now coming back to a question, if an individual has got passion of sales, and if he or she knows how to sell himself, that individual can get into that profession. And I don't think any specific gender, be it women or men, can do better sales.
Whether we like it or not, there are quite a number of people that believe when it comes to women are better marketers or better salesperson. So saying that you have to look deep to check where your own skills lie. So let me ask, what are the things that you think that we are doing wrongly when it comes to sales and marketing? What do you think we do wrongly, aside you selling yourself, aside your personality now? What do we do wrongly without us knowing?
So what we do wrongly is, we try and become artificial And when we try and become artificial, we want to look better. We want to sell our product in as many quantity as possible. In urge of selling more, in urge of looking better as compared to others in this so-called competition to beat the competition, we unnecessarily put a layer on our personality, we unnecessarily put a layer on our products, And that basically leads to the miscommunication to the consumer. The moment that miscommunication happens with the consumer, wherein you really unnecessarily want to portray your product or yourself better as compared to others. My understanding is you should know what your product value proposition is, and you should tell truth to your consumer, whoever the consumer, whether an internal consumer or external consumer. If that consumer finds value proposition, see, you will not have infinite consumers for your product. There is always a niche. There is always a certain buyer or a consumer available for a certain product. You will definitely buy. You will definitely have a consumer for your product, but be as honest and transparent as possible in selling yourself, in selling your products. Don't become artificial you and get into that, never-ending competition race. So that's my advice, and that's the way I live my life.
You launched a book, right? Most recently titled The Lost You, and it is more of a personal discovery and a life appraisal book, I want to believe, right? So how did you arrive at this journey of helping people find themselves?
This idea of writing this book was with me for about good 5 years now.
Okay.
But the environment what I got here, I got some excellent mentors who gave me the courage of converting my dream into the reality. So that's one. So the book basically says that we all throughout our life we run on behind the materialistic desires, and to fulfill those materialistic desires, we have to play so many roles in life. For example, me as an individual, I am a father to someone, I am a husband to someone, I am a brother to someone, I am a customer to someone, I am a mentor to someone, I am a mentee to someone, I am a brother to someone, I am a brother-in-law to someone. So if you look at the roles what I play, I have got more than 40-50 roles I play. All these 40-50 roles, what I just mentioned, they all happen simultaneously. So right now when I'm talking to my father, I will not speak to my son the way I spoke to my father. If I'm talking to my son, I'm not going to speak to my son the same way I speak to my boss. So every individual whom I'm interacted with or the role I'm playing is so different from each other, right? So what happens is all these roles what we play, they judge us. How am I my son judges me, how am I as a father? My father judges me, how am I as a son? My wife judges me, how am I as a husband? And my girlfriend also judges me, how am I as a friend?
I don't need my girlfriend.
So all of them judge me. And reciprocally, I also judge everyone that how is an individual. So in the process of playing so many roles, in the process of judging everyone, in the process of getting judged, we want to make everyone happy. We want to make all the relations happy. In the process of making every relation, every role happy, we lay an invisible layer over us. That invisible layer is not that actual you. You are playing that role the way you are playing because you want to make your son happy, your father happy, your customer happy, your boss happy. So that's not actual you. And we live our entire life like this. Okay? And later part of life we say, hey, though I've achieved my materialistic goals, I've achieved XYZ cars and houses of the world, but what have I done to myself? Am I really happy? So in process of making everyone happy, in the process of playing so many roles in our day-to-day lives, we completely lose ourselves. We completely lost ourselves. We lose our strengths. We lose our likes. We forget our own, our hobbies, and we live life for others. I'm not saying that we should not look at others and we should not, but at the same time, while my book basically tells you that you have to strike a balance between you and your surroundings. If you have not been able to, it is always not good that you only focus on yourself and become selfish. That's also not good.
Not being self-centered.
Yeah. And at the same time, you only focus on others and completely ignore you is not something which is. So my book says you have to strike a balance between both, be it your personal life and professional life, and find yourself before it's too late.
So talking about finding yourself, still on the book, The Lost You. They lost you in capital letter. Guys, for those who are listening, please go get the book, and you're going to tell them where they're going to find the book anyways. So I'm curious, the average human being, when does he find out that, he or she is lost? Or how would I put it, that does he even have a chance in a lifetime to know that he or she is lost?
I'll give an example of my own, right now, in this country where I am right now, I am extremely in a very, very good organization. And I'm proud to work for this organization. The designation what I carry is one of the best designations. It's the topmost designation in the last 23 years what I have always drawn. The salary, the remuneration what I'm drawing is one of the best in the last 23 years. So the organization is the best. Salary is the best. Place is the best, Still, I'm not happy.
Sometimes it will be like that.
Understand?
Yeah.
So this basically got stuck wherein if I've got everything best in terms of materialistic desires, you're earning, everybody's running about money, naira, dollar, XYZ, If I've got the maximum what I've not really earned in my life, still I'm not happy. So what is that? What was missing? So then I start introspecting that why is that happening? Why am I not being contented in spite of earning so much? Why am I? Where is that Rajeev lost? Then I went back to my life and understood that what were my strengths, what were the things what used to give me really happiness. That happiness doesn't always mean earning more money. Mm-hmm. Money can give you comfort. Money can give you luxury. It can't give you happiness.
Sure.
Yeah. So then I went introspected, again started those things, I love adding value to people's life. And this is what I do. When I was in college also I used to do so. People who were not really at par with others and they had some, limitations. I used to add whatever I could add value to them. I've been doing it since my college days, but I forgot here. So now I went back again. I started doing that again. And, I started writing that I will one day find an opportunity wherein I can make a PPT, present it to people. That I have not been able to get an opportunity that those notes, those small notes have transformed into this book. And this book is as a result of my strength of writing and adding value to people's life. So that's the answer to the question.
I'm enjoying this segment. I'm hoping that we'll not run out of time because, it's like you're talking to me, you're talking to quite a number of us here. Even when I said, oh, I agree with you that money doesn't make people happy, he looked at me and said, excuse you, I need the money right now. But, listening to you, Nigeria and India, enjoy very good bilateral relations. And what does, sometimes I don't know how to put it, for an Indian man like you, what does this good bilateral relation translate to you being here in Nigeria?
Myself being in this country is a result of that good bilateral relationship here, because I know when I'm going to a country, that country is going to give me that safety and security. And I did not have a zilch of doubt that that part of the world where I'm going, whether my family and myself are going to be safe or not. So, in fact, I feel more safe and secure in this part of the world as compared to the one where I used to stay.
Don't let our listeners, don't let them start calling me.
So thank you, Nigeria. Thank you, Lagos, for giving me that comfort and that luxury. Thank you so very much.
I wish every one of us could say this.
And I mean it when I'm saying. I'm not saying for the sake of saying that I'm on radio. Believe me, I am extremely happy in what we are doing right now and in this part of the world. But there are some personal reasons when I said that I was in terms of that the happiness is something which was missing. Yeah. There are some personal reasons. My family is not here. My father is old. Whatever the reason. I don't want to mention that on the radio. But as far as me as a professional, I'm extremely happy.
Nice. So, in a softer note, which of Nigerian local dishes have you eaten? And can I say that? Which ones are the ones that you enjoy the most? That you can say, okay, I have favorites of Nigerian dishes, but I enjoy this the most.
Okay. I like egusi soup.
Hey! With what?
With the fish and chicken. Okay.
No, but what kind of swallow?
The swallow was pounded yam.
Pounded yam, interesting.
Gari.
Okay. That's about
cassava.
Okay.
So I have pounded yam, gari, cassava.
Okay.
And then you have this, and you.
No rice. No rice.
Jello rice is
so jollof rice.
Jello rice has become kind of a staple food for me also. So that's not Nigerian for me. I eat it every day.
Oh my goodness! Right. Oh my goodness! So
I'm Nigerian now.
So I have to ask you this question because I'm very sure you must have heard Ghana and Nigeria. They are always in this battle of their jollof rice. I don't know if you've ever tasted Ghanaian rice.
Of course, yes.
Hey, now that's going to lead to my next question. Between Nigerian jollof rice, and Ghanaian jollof rice, which one is sweeter?
Nigerian jollof is far better than.
Hey! I'm taking Raj out after this episode. Thank you. Give me. I know we can't do 5, but you can give me Noko. Give me Noko.
No, far.
All right, that's nice. So now by now you should have a Nigerian wife. Don't you think so?
No.
Nigerian girlfriend?
No, I can have friends. I have many friends in Nigeria, but I have a beautiful wife back there in India, and she keeps on visiting me.
That's
and
nice.
I'm proud to be associated with her.
So, okay, that's
yes.
a nice.
A friend is fine, but not a wife.
Yeah, so meaning that regardless whether we are the one paying the bills, we are the one trying to give you the best lifestyle, Nigerian women are not good enough for Indian men, right?
No, they are beautiful. They are good enough, but there is always a sincerity.
Cultural.
There is always if you are happy with what you have and you have contented. See, there is no end to, as I said, pleasure and having fun. But you always look at being contented, and there are responsibilities linked to your every relation what you pay, and there is a loyalty. If you are going to be loyal with your family is also going to be loyal with you. It's always reciprocal, and it's not something which I say. If I always walk the talk that way.
All right, so let me give you an open mic.
So, for example, I'm sorry, I have met so many Nigerian girls, and they are my friends, my colleagues. The most beautiful Nigerian ladies I'm sitting at the moment right now. When I came to the show and I saw the banner that this is the lady I'm going to sit with, I said, wow, no matter what the program is, I'm going to meet this lady. But I'm not considering you for anything, just for being my friend only. To consider my proposal as a friend.
I'm blushing. Thanks for the compliment. Stanley, you're giving him thumbs up.
Thumbs up. I like him.
I'm going to sack you after this.
He's my main man.
Thank you.
All right, let me give you an open mic. What do you have to say to people who are listening to you? Words of encouragement, of course, and talk about your book and where they can get the book from.
My book is available on Amazon, all Amazon platform, Amazon UK, US, India. And it's also available on Roving Heights here. Roving Heights, they can book and buy a book, soft copy version, and also can buy a hard copy version on Roving Heights.
All right. Okay. Can you share your handle for those who might want to follow you on social handle?
The handle is The Lost You by RD.
Okay. Many thanks. All right. Thank you, Raj. Thank you for coming on into the studio today. I'm blushing. Guys, and of course for sharing great business thoughts with us and talking about your book. I'm looking forward to reading the book. It's been an interesting time with you in the studio. And I must say that he's very contagious when it comes to his smile, right? He complimented me. Let me compliment him to the young gentleman.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, guys. Seriously, our closing remarks, courtesy of Moluabi personality from Goldberg, is marketing and sales doesn't end with products and services. You are a brand yourself, just like Raj have emphasized. You should be able to market and sell yourself to any open opportunity in life, wherever you find yourself. And then and there, you may find yourself and all those possibilities of what you've been craving for in terms of fulfillment in your life.